Hello, are you out there? I have got a good one for you today. I'm Mark, Homebrew Fever Dreams Reviews, and we're doing the Variant Fighter / Rogue class from Outrageous Maximum. Rune Queen, I know your paladin has been waiting so long. You're next in the queue. I am getting to it. I promise. If anyone's wondering, what is this? This is the smallest and tightest possible YouTube community. There's like 4 of us, and we create homebrew. We talk about homebrew. I don't create so much homebrew. I run like homebrew campaigns. That's kind of like my jam, like the whole like year-long arc, and it's all like out of here. At any rate, that's what I do. But and then I blather on. So here we are. Variant Fighter Rogue class. This idea works like its own class, but is effectively a mix between fighter and elements of rogue. Conceptually, you would not be allowed to multi-class with this. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so this is not just a subclass here, folks. It's full class, but we are stating here, Outrageous Maximum is just calling it, like, listen, if you're going to do this shenanigans, no multi-class. Because things could probably get drastically out of balance. So, the idea is more of a methodical fighter that works by trying to stack situational buffs to increase their damage. And let me just reassure you, I've read this. It is very cool. I think with the buy-in of a DM, you could get a lot out of this, have a lot of fun with it. And just the theme of this class evokes so many of the courageous, wise, watchful heroes that we've all read about and we love from novels, comics, anime, movies. So this has a lot of playability. I'm just going to tell you right now. Stick with me here, folks. A quick rundown. Levels 1 through 20, our proficiency bonus is just standard progression, as always, 2 to 6. And our features, you've got your ability score increases where you'd expect them, but otherwise, yeah, we're going to get the precision strike. Precision strike is a big bonus to your precision strike, your precise strike damage. You'll get increases of that throughout, up to 66, and then also the stance is the other part. Think of like World of Warcraft fighter stance kind-ish, right? I mean, that's what I thought of first time. I mean, it's not, but you'll see. You get to choose from some stances, and they do get increases to the number of stances available to you. So, let's get into it. Here's the good stuff. Hit points. 1d10 plus con mod per level, starting at a 10 plus con mod at level 1. Pretty boilerplate. Proficiencies. All armor. All shields. All simple weapons and martial weapons. Strength and intelligence saving throws. That's right. Intelligence? What? Saving throw? Fighter / rogue hybrid class? What? Yeah, this is a brainy. This is a thinker's class, for sure. Not too much, but it just lends itself to being like, no, this is a watchful warrior. Okay? Watchful warrior. That's a great way to say it. Choose 3 skills from athletics, acrobatics, stealth, arcana, investigation, nature, insight, and perception. That's pretty nice getting to choose 3 of them. And one of them is not a tool, so you're just getting 3 straight skills. I think that's meant to kind of a nod towards the rogue getting their expertise, ish. So yeah, I don't think anyone else gets to take 3 skills right off the go like that. So obviously you'd get a cool background mixed in here. You could have a nice skill set if you chose a background that provides something good. So advantageous. Here we go. This is the good stuff. At first level, you understand how to stack odds in your favor. Advantage effects stack for any attack rolls you make. When rolling with advantage, roll 1 plus the number of advantage d20s and use the highest roll. So you're going to, whenever you make an attack roll, you will roll 1d20 plus a d20 for each advantage you've gotten. Stacking. Yeah. Now, initially, early on, it's not particularly easy to go beyond 1 advantage unless you have other mechanics within your party working to give you additional advantages. But if something imposes disadvantage, negate 1 advantage. So that'll count against you either way. But yeah, for instance, if one of your allies just helps you, just aids you in an attack on their action, then you can gain an advantage that way. And obviously, if you roll a nat 20 on any of those, you got a crit. So it's kind of like big hits, right? That's what this is gaming for, is maybe not so many big hits, but big hits. For instance, when I look at this class, I don't even see a second attack. Extra attack? That's not even here. There's literally not an extra attack. So it's less attacks, but bigger damage outputs, bigger chances for crits. Okay, but yeah, just to be clear though, that's what they're saying though, is that you get to roll a d20 for each advantage on top of your regular attack d20. So you could roll 1d20, 2, 3, 4, as far as you can go. I would say with your DM, you want to have that caveat that if things get out of whack, you'll adjust stuff between sessions. You'll have that conversation willingly, freely, and just say, hey, we hit 5 advantage rolls. Is that getting a little crazy? Or you guys are gaming it every single attack round. The whole party's doing this thing. It's getting a little mechanical. Can we cap that at 3 d20s or 4 d20s or something like that? Or maybe tie what you're doing to proficiency bonuses per short rest, something like that. You always got to be careful with Homebrew, knowing that it might get crazy out of whack. I can only imagine what this could stack to if a party really put their mind to it, or if you had enough players in the party. See, this is the thing about Homebrew, because we're kind of saying, listen, we're going to go off the rails with how the rules are made. This is a very interesting concept if you have 3 or 4 party members, but what if you have 6 or 7, 8 party members? You can clearly see how if the party worked together, this could get outrageous, the number of advantages you could gain. So balance, folks. Okay, the other piece you're going to get at first level is Precise Strike. At first level, you can make the most of an opportunity. When you attack with advantage, you can negate 1 advantage to add 2d6 to that attack's damage roll if it hits. This feature can be used multiple times on the same attack. Your bonus damage increases to... Let me stop there. That just means that if you have two advantages, you're going to roll your normal attack die plus the first advantage, the second, so 3d20s. But you say, no, I'm going to burn... I want to make sure I don't flip you guys off. You're going to burn 2... and you're going to gain 2d6 for the first, 2d6 for the second, and add that damage. So the 1d20 normal attack roll now, but you now have 4d6 damage roll added if you hit. Yeah, that's what we're saying. So it can blow up very, very quickly. So it stacks. Yeah, the feature can be used multiple times on the same attack. Your bonus damage increases to 3d6 at 5th, 46 at 9th, 5d6 at 13th, and 66 at 17th level. So monstrous damage. But bear in mind, again, no extra attack for this class, which most other, melee types get, right? Your rangers, your fighters, right? They all get that. Paladins, yeah, I think. Yeah, sorry. I'm not an expert at this. So anyways, Ready Blow coming in at level 2 here. Second level, you can focus your next attack to make it more effective. You can use your action to give your next attack advantage. That is right. You're passing on an attack this turn with your action to get advantage on your attack next turn. It's patience. This effect goes away if you become incapacitated or after 1 minute. It also does not stack with itself. That's right. You cannot Ready Blow, then next turn Ready Blow, next turn Ready Blow, and stack it up. This one does not stack. It's good balance there. It's interesting, though, because anytime you're foregoing your action and delaying it till next turn because of the way action economy works in D&D, you're sacrificing a lot. But again, this is the thinkers, this is the role players, intelligent warrior, the patient warrior, the watchful warrior. That's what we're going for theme, and it really delivers. Stance. At third level, you learn a stance to ready yourself before making your next attack. Choose one of the following options to gain in combat. This, to me, is really the meat, the heart of this hybrid class. is the stances. I think you have 6 stances to choose from, and ultimately you'll be able to get up to 3 of them. So you don't get them all, but you'll get about half. So just real quickly, we have rooted, engaged, retaliation, assault, retreat, backup. 6 stances, you'll get access to 3 of them as you progress through. So yeah, mix and match. These are all pretty cool. I really like them. So let's start. We'll get through them here. Rooted is the first one. You may use your action to root yourself to your location. Your attacks have advantage. This effect ends if you become incapacitated, you move from your space willingly or unwillingly, or after 1 minute. But this is the nice thing, is that, yeah, you got to burn your action to root yourself, but you're in a doorway 5 feet wide. You're going to root yourself to that spot with your weapon ready, and you're not going to move, and you're not going to be moved if you can help it. And that's going to last for up to 10 rounds of combat. You're now going to gain advantage on all attacks after that. So listen, a hill giant might come and shove you out of the way. That could happen, absolutely. You could be grappled, and then they could try and move you that way. That would break it. Although just grappling itself wouldn't do anything because your movement's reduced to 0. That doesn't affect this. Only until you've been moved out of your rooted position. So I like this one because it persists from turn to turn to turn. It does not dissipate just because you make your attack. So it's nice. Engaged is your second stance option. You may choose your action to focus on a creature you can see. If your next attack is against that creature, you gain advantage on that attack. That creature has disadvantage on hide checks against you. That's right, because you're tracking it. You're paying extra attention to it. And still take opportunity attacks when disengaging from you. That's right. They're engaged by you. So even if they try to disengage to get away from you, they take the disengage action, you could still take that opportunity attack with advantage. Oh, this effect ends if you become incapacitated after 1 minute or after attacking the creature. So is my light good enough? No, fuck it. You guys don't need to see me that well. It's a little dim. So this is slightly different than rooted because it clicks off each time you make the attack. You have to re-up it. You have to re-engage. Bear in mind, you may use your action to focus on a creature you see. If your next attack against that creature, you gain advantage on the next attack. So with all of these stances, it does use your action to go into the stance, essentially, is what we're saying. So it takes forethought, which is the whole point of Outrageous. Okay, here we go. Outrageous the OP. Retaliation is our third stance. You may use your action to prepare to counter an attack that targets you. While this stance is active, if you are targeted by an attack or spell, you may immediately use your reaction to make an opportunity attack against the attacker with advantage. You also gain a resistance to all damage that attack/spell does to you before the beginning of your next turn. Yes, this effect ends if you become incapacitated after 1 minute or you make an opportunity attack. Whew. Oof. I like that. Listen, that works on ranged as well as melee, right? It just means you're observing. Let's see. You're just prepared for anything coming in, I guess. Maybe it's more zen than observing, but you're just like, it's it's like snatching an arrow out of the air, right? That's being shot at you. That's kind of what I see it as. It's like whatever comes in, all your senses are heightened, and you go and you retaliate at that point. I believe even if you have a ranged weapon, you can retaliate with this. So it's not just for melee only here. That's pretty cool. Hatchets, throwing knives, whatever, right? The magic missile comes from behind you, you turn, whoosh, and you have resistance on all those magic missiles force coming in on you. Because you're like kind of matrixing out of the way. You're like, whoa. By the way, do you guys like my Poi Poi Molcar t-shirt? My daughter introduced it to me. We are a guinea pig household. So in case some of you didn't know, I'll have to bring my guinea pigs into a couple of the videos sometimes. They're so damn cute. Angel and Poppy. One's a little black one. She looks like a poppy seed. She's like smooth, silky black fur with little bit of white. And then Angel is a redonkulous, just like long hair that calyx, so it comes to all these weird little points. And when she was littler, the calyx were so strong. Now she's more scruffy and fluffy. Like they're like big. They're like 2-pound potatoes. Sorry, but I'll show you my guinea pigs later. But I love guinea pigs. The more you know. Here we go. Fourth stance, assault. You may use your action to ready a rush. You choose a space that you can see. If your next attack is made against a target on that space, it gains advantage, the attack. Until you do, you can use your reaction to a target entering your chosen space to move up to your movement directly towards that space, and if the target is in range, make an opportunity attack against that target. This effect ends if you become incapacitated after 1 minute or after attacking a target on that space. This one may need something else. This is a stance that I would not see a lot of people taking. It's just... it's limiting you to like that space. I guess the opposite of like rooting yourself is if there's a doorway, you're 30 feet back, 60 feet back with your longbow, and whatever comes through that doorway, you're going to hit. But it's so situational, I don't know that people would take one of their 3 precious stances out of the 6 available to choose this. So maybe this has got to get pumped up a little bit. I mean, listen, you could target it at long range with a longbow and gain advantage to neutralize the disadvantage. It's 600 feet. So if you're playing a ranger archer style, there you go. That's where this would be like sniper city. Okay, there you go. Retreat. You may use your action to space your opponents. To gain space for your opponents. A little edit there, Outrageous. That doesn't read proper. You may use your action to gain space from your opponents. While this stance is active, you may dash or disengage as a bonus action. Ooh, nice. So that's a little bit of the, what the hell do they call that with the rogues? Cunning action. It's a little cunning action-ish. If a creature enters your threat range, normal range for ranged weapons on this, not long, but still not bad. You may use your action to make an opportunity attack against them with advantage. This effect ends if you become incapacitated after 1 minute or you make an opportunity attack. This one is also a little situational because the way I'm reading this is if a creature enters your threat range. So you're moving away, you're retreating, and only if they pursue or come across your threat range, you may then make the attack. But you can't back yourself through the area, through the threat range of another enemy to bring them in because they're not entering. So caution with that. That may mean... I completely understand what you're saying, but again, I think it's too situational. You take this if you're like when you have to retreat. I would like to see it maybe read if any creature that is in your threat range, normal range for ranged weapons, you may use a reaction to make an opportunity attack against them so you can still attack. It's just kind of saying like you're going to withdraw, but as you withdraw, you can target anything that's within your normal range. Normal for ranged or melee. So you're retreating back, but you go past someone, you can attack them, but they can't, but you are disengaging, right? So it's like a fighting retreat is how I would say it. I just need clarity because right now it's saying if a creature enters your range, meaning they have to come into it, and that just makes it too situational because you're saying I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to hope they pursue me. They come into it. So I might be overanalyzing it, but I would clarify that so you can do a fighting retreat. That's how I would like to see this work. So you know you're going to get to make those attacks. Yes? Or would you just always fighting retreat? I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. Finally, the last one, backup. You may use your action to fight as one with an ally. This is one you would take. This is a good one. Choose one willing creature within 10 feet of you. While this stance is active, you and that creature have a bonus to AC 1, and you both have advantage on attack rolls. Yeah. This effect ends if you are ever more than 10 feet from the ally. Either of you become incapacitated, the ally becomes unwilling, or after 1 minute. So I do really like this one again because it lasts for the whole minute. So once you activate it, it's going to work and it's going to work. And because it works at that 10-foot range, this will still work for ranged fighters. You can be there with your crossbow or throwing daggers at 10 feet. Sorry, that's pulling daggers out of your belt, and that's what that is. That's obvious, right? Like that this is throwing daggers. I think we all. Let's not overthink it. I think we all can agree that I'm right. 100% of the time. I love it. I would take that one absolutely. The AC bonus to both of you, advantage for both of you. Brutally good. And ultimately, it means that an enemy is going to have to disengage and get space get away from you if possible. Yeah, it's going to force somebody back. Even a big guy, even a freaking ice troll is going to be just like withering advantage attacks from 2 extra defense allies. No one's going to want to stand against that, alone at least. Absolutely. Withering assault. That's fantastic. You can only have 1 stance active at a time. This is important. You cannot activate a stance while a stance is already in effect. You may end a stance as a bonus action. So the 2 ways to end stances are by the ones that get used up after attacking or making your opportunity attack. It ends the stance. Or you use a bonus action for the couple of types of stances that, such as rooted and backup, that persist for a full 1 minute. Okay. You choose 1 additional stance option at 11th level and again at 18th level. Now, we're 21 minutes into this. 22 minutes. It's time for a coffee break. If anyone's still watching, that's not my normal people who just watch this with me. You're going, Jesus, this is really long. It's like, yeah, it is. That's what this is. We just nerd out, and it takes as long as it takes. It's really actually kind of cool to just have a channel where there's like 4 people that watch, because you don't have to worry about trying to gimmick it or just like, I mean, I want to be entertaining, and have fun, but there's no like, how do I increase click through or get people to stay with? It's like either you like this or you don't. So it's just like it makes it really genuinely fun to do it, and I feel like I'm talking to like, I would say friends. I like people who are taking all the time to write this, to think about it, be creative, share it with me so I can just share back and be creative with them. Yeah, it's like social media done right, and I get that a lot of social media can't be this, but like this is one of the few places where it's like, you put in, and I give back. So it's cool. Anyone who is not Rune Queen or Crunkers, Outrageous Maximum, some of the others that post here, Warrior Button, feel free to go onto this Reddit, r/Homebrew Fever Dreams, and post your own homebrew. It can be artwork. It can be a spell, a magic item, a subclass. It doesn't even have to be in D&D officially, and I will try and get around to making a video for you. Now, admittedly, I've had some really long, like I know Rose Full of Stars did an entire witch class with different types of witches. It's like dozens of pages. I've got to get around to doing a video for them at some point. The thing I've run into with that is it's really hard to justify doing like 5 or 8 videos for one topic, and each of them would be like 20-30 minute read-throughs. Or do I crush down all this content into like one 30-40 minute video, picking and choosing? I owe it to Rose Full of Stars to look at it, because it's so good. It really is. It's a huge amount of work. It's like, I don't want to say hags, it's witches. Hags are not witches. It's witches, and the variety of them is just magnificent. You can find her stuff on the Reddit if you're interested. I'm so sorry. Let's get back to it before this thing is like an hour long. We're closing in here, folks. Improve stance. At 6th level, you can focus on your stance to enhance it. You may use this feature when you activate a stance. When that stance grants you advantage, you gain an extra instance of advantage. That's right. You may use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per short or long rest. So yeah, at 6th level, you're going to be sitting at proficiency 3. So based off a short rest, you want to use these up, burn through them, and ultimately gain that extra advantage, which is going to either give you the extra chance to hit, or you're going to burn that advantage dice to convert it into your strike pool for an extra 2d6, 3d6 as you go. Astute Eye. At 7th level, you have an eye for detail. When you make a precision or investigation check and roll less than 10, you may replace your roll with 10. So it's a little weak sauce. I mean, it's, I mean, I guess a lot of creatures, I guess a standard passive perception 10. Is that? No, it's active, not standard. Yeah. Your passive perception and investigation increased by 5 each. That is nice. I take that. That's just a straight big chunk to 2 skills that are quite useful. Plus 5. Awesome. It's better than proficiency ultimately in my mind, So it's a nice touch. Wary and ready. At 10th level, when you take the ready blow action, you may take the dodge action or make a perception investigation check for free. One or the other. But yes, this is like you are in the middle of a dynamic puzzle chamber, right? Poison arrow darts and you're going across a balance beam, weapon in hand. This is you essentially using that ready blow action, fighting things off, but still being able to observe and try and solve the puzzle as it's happening. Or you're in the middle of the fight and you're trying to see who has the key, it's been passed around, or which of the multiple red wizards of Thay you're fighting is the real one, which are the illusions. Investigation check, please. All the while hacking at them with your weapon. That's what this is. It's the thinking man's. This is like Sherlock Holmes in action here. Love it. Great flavor. You're going to get to use it. I mean, heck, just being able to take the dodge action along with the ready blow action, that alone makes it much harder for you. It's survivability and it's role playability, so it's got both. Very nice. Uncanny Eye. At 14th level, you see the truth naturally. When you make a perception or investigation check and total above 20 on your die roll and your bonuses, you can activate this feature to gain true sight out to 120 feet for 1 minute. You can activate this effect 5 times per long rest. Couple things about this. Outrageous. I would just make that activate this effect equal to your proficiency per long rest. You chose 5 because at 14th level you have a plus 5, but why not kick it up to 6 as you go, as you get to 6 proficiency, right? Don't give someone an extra number to remember that is different from everything else. Just tie it to your proficiency. You're covered, my man or lady, right? Okay, but back up to what we're talking about here. I love this because you could absolutely roleplay this, that it's not magical. That it's truly a natural ability. You're using your wisdom, your perception, your insights, your Sherlockianness. Is that a Sherlockianness? Your Sherlockianness. To see things for what they are. To be like, listen, that looks like a common weaver woman, but I know that's a deity in disguise. I can see the truth of that. Maybe you don't see her glowing radiance, right? And I don't know if that matters so much, but just the idea that, like, yes, this could just be a straight up magical effect that triggers, like that you just gain insights beyond insight, and you do see the Weaver Woman as the deity she really is. But you don't have to roleplay it that way. You could just be like, that's just a Weaver Woman there, but No. The way her hands move, the intricacy of what she's designing as she's talking to me without even looking, effortlessly doing it. Her poise, the confidence, that's a goddess. I can see her for what she really is without seeing her. Dude. Yeah. So just a beautiful touch of theme, flavor there. Great homebrew. Great homebrew. But yeah, change that to just proficiency per long rest, please. Simplicity. We're closing in. 2 more things. Almost done. All or nothing. At 15th level, when you transfer all instances of advantage into precise strike and land a critical hit, triple the damage instead of doubling it. Sure. This comes down to like numbers and dice. I'm doing maths. I think this might be underpowered. I mean, listen, triple damage on a crit is nice if you crit. But I think you're just guaranteed to do so much more damage if you... Because here's the thing, you can't mix and match this. Say you have 3 bonus advantages plus your attack. I could see it's like, okay, I'm going to take 2 of the bonus advantages to gain... At this level, I'm going to gain like 8d6 bonus dice to my attack roll, and then I'll go all or nothing. And then if one of my 2 dice hits that crit, it's going to be triple. I'm going to be rolling like freaking 24 d6s monster damage. No. This is very specifically for balance reasons saying, no, you must transfer all instances of advantage into precise strike and land the critical hit. For triple damage, here, let's just roll back. Let's look at precise strike here. Let's make sure we're talking about this right. When you attack with advantage, you can negate 1 advantage to add 2d6 damage to that attack roll. No, okay. Sorry. It's all or nothing. Okay. I get what you're doing. I'm sorry. I think it would work. I think it is balanced. To reiterate, you are converting all your extra advantage dice into damage dice in the hope that you hit. In the rare case that the 1 dice you're rolling for your attack now, because you have no advantage dice left, hits the 20, you land a critical hit, tripling the damage. In at 15th level, let's go back up. We're going to be hitting 5d6 to 66 at 15, 15th and above. And you're converting all of them. So say you have 3, you convert them. You could be sitting at 18d6, 17th level. You take all or nothing. You have a 1 in 20 chance to triple that. Oh my lord. Versus just say you have the 3 advantage dice, you burn 2, you gain 12d6 from burning 2 of them, and you still roll with advantage, doubling your chances of getting a crit, which would then just double the damage. I'm overthinking this. I can't do the stats in my head. I don't know if that would be crazy overpowered. It would be the biggest damage in the game. I mean, I can't even think of anything close to that. It could really be abused. Is there any weapons? Sorry, some of the weapons, they hit on a 19 or a 20, right? For crit? Land a crit? Yeah, hold on. I'm in the player's handbook, folks. We've gone this far. You guys will stick with me here. Right, let's see what we got. Oh, God. I've got the contacts in. Can't see nothing. Hold on. Heavy. What the heck is it? What am I missing here, guys? Which one of these things makes you crit on a 19 or 20? Am I like, I thought like a war pick or something. War pick. It just doesn't say anything. What am I thinking? So that's class specific. In order to crit on a 19 or 20, that's not tied to a weapon. Am I thinking of like old 3.0 rules? I'm sorry. I've been playing D&D for many decades. That must be it. None. Okay. So there's no way for you to artificially increase that. So less chance that it's going to get abused. I don't know, man. Someone would have to do the numbers. Let's move on. I really don't know. I could foresee that being redonkulong. Okay. Finally, ambient awareness, your capstone. This is a good one. At 20th level, when you have True Sight, you gain advantage on all attack, investigation, and perception rolls, and attack rolls against you cannot have advantage. I'll read it again. At level 20, when you have True Sight, you gain advantage on all attack, investigation, and perception rolls, and attack rolls against you cannot have advantage. That's beautifully done. By level 20, you have your own way of generating True Sight up here with your Uncanny Eye. But by level 20, I'm sure your party, via spells or equipment, are going to find a way to give you True Sight whenever you want, all the time. So this is a really good capstone. It's nice. It's not overpowered. If you're level 20, it's totally appropriate. But the fact that no one can have advantage against you, that's just a nice touch. Really helps make you more survivable. What a great class altogether. I'm going to be my final summation here, Outrageous. I can see numbers getting out of hand. So I don't know that it's balanced. I think the numbers get so big, it's just really hard to calculate stuff. It's a big dice rolling class. I love it, though, because it does feel like there's a lot of role play potential. There's a lot of tactical potential to think through as a player. So I think in that sense alone, like even if you just took your strike dice, what do we call it? Your precise strike dice, and halved all of them to get the numbers just lower, just so there's less dice and counting and numbers involved, I still think it would be a great class to play. It's a thinker's class, and I like that about it. So this is worth looking into. It would take playtesting. And with all homebrews, we all know that's what homebrew oftentimes lack, is playtesting. So I would encourage you folks, anyone to propose this to a DM, put it out there and just ask your DM and just say, listen, if things are getting out of hand, either too many advantage dice or too many damage dice, like too many D6s, I will absolutely work it. I just want to play this because it seems cool. Do you agree? Let's go with it. Because you could absolutely put a cap on the maximum number of advantage dice, like cap it at +2 advantage dice or +3 advantage dice, so things don't get too crazy. And yeah, you could reduce the precise strike dice being awarded. I could see taking one off of each of the stages or just cutting them all in half if necessary. Find a way to get this played, though. Get it play tested. That's, I think, the only way to really know if this is viable. Because of many of the homebrews we've looked at, this one of all of them, I'm having trouble foreseeing how crazy it could get. I think you guys would agree. But it's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a long one. Take care, everybody. Paladin coming up next. Rune Queen, thank you for waiting so long. And you guys have even put more in, which is awesome. There's always more being fed into the system. I think we've got 4 on top of this. So that'll get us through the next month. But we need new blood. We need new homebrewers to come in and drop stuff in. I'll pick up the pace on these. I'll do 2 a week on these. But I'm not trying. It's outrageous, and it's Rune Queen and I at this point. Crunkers hasn't posted in a while, so there's no point in this just like gobbling through it. So I'm kind of stretching, but I love it. This is my favorite part of doing the Homebrew Fever Dreams channel. Take care, everybody.